So if we're going to do samples, how do we know what size sample would be effective, right, based on our population and whatnot, and our confidence interval and all those other things? And so there are ways to figure that out, and it's right here, okay? Top of page 302 is basically the sample size for estimating the population mean. Then we've got page 303, the sample size for the population proportion. So again, it gives us a formula. This one's not too gnarly, really, right? Just n is our sample size, right, is equal to our z, right, which is going to be based on our confidence interval, times our standard deviation, divided by e, or the acceptable error, I guess is, I think, what they call that. How far off we're willing to accept it, squared. Okay, so relatively easy formula. Again, if we put in our data here, get her in there, it's pretty simple then to do the math. So for 19, it says a population is estimated to have a standard deviation of 10. So I put that in there, my standard deviation is 10. We want to estimate the population mean within 2, so my error, is within 2, okay, with a 95% confidence level. How large a sample is required? So n's equal to standard, or a z times the standard deviation divided by e. So let's do the inside of the bracket there first, inside of my parentheses first. So I got it's equal to, right, just my z, which I had to look up, my confidence interval of 95, and again, get used to that one being that, times my standard deviation divided by my error. Okay. And then I can square that. Okay, and I broke this down, you wouldn't have to. Okay, why do I got 97, 96.04? It's just barely over 96. I think if you look through this, especially in these ones, that we always round it up. Okay, it says right on page 302, the result of this calculation is not always a whole number. It says when the outcome is not a whole number, the usual practice is to round up any fractional result to the next whole number. So always round up is what we would do. Okay, and I suppose what we're saying is that we, if we're even if we go down to 96, our confidence level then might not be quite as high, 94 in a fraction or something like that. And so to be sure, okay, we would say that our sample size should be 97.